I am with terrorism. Nizar Qabbani. We are accused of terrorism, if we defended rose and woman and the mighty verse, and the bluntness of sky. A dominion. Nothing left therein. No water, no air. No tent, no camel, and not even dark Arabica coffee. We are accused of terrorism, if we defended with guts the hair of Balkis and the lips of Mason, if we defended Hind, and Dad Lubna and Rabab, and the stream of coal coming down from their lashes like the verses of Revelation. You will not find with me a secret poem or secret logos or books I put behind doors. I do not even have one poem walking down the street, wearing veil. We are accused of terrorism, if we wrote about the ruins of a homeland torn, weak. A homeland with no address and a nation with no names. I seek the remnants of a homeland. None of its grand poems is left except the bemoans of Kanza. I seek a dominion in whose horizons no freedom can be found. Red, blue or yellow. A homeland forbidding us from buying a newspaper or listening to the news. A dominion wherein birds are forbidden from chirping. A homeland wherein, out of terror, its writers got accustomed to write about nothing. A homeland, in the likeness of poetry in our lands, it is vain talk, no rhythm, imported a gem, with a crooked face and tongue, no beginning, no end, no relation with people's worry, Mother Earth and the crisis of man. A dominion. Going to peace talks with no one or no shoe. A homeland, men peed in their pans. Women are those left to defend honor. Salt in our eyes, salt in our lips, salt in our words. Can the self carry such dryness? An inheritance we got from the Baron Katan. In our nation, no Muawiyah, and no Abu Sufyan. No one is left to say and Kuwo. No and Kuwo. And face the quitters. They gave up our houses, our bread and our olive oil. They transformed our bright history into a mediocre store. In our lives, no poem is left, since we lost our chastity in the bed of the Sultan. They got accustomed to us, they humbled. What is left to man when all that remains is disgrace? I seek in the books of history Osama ibn al-Munqidh, Uqba ibn Nafi Omar, and Hamza and Khalid, driving his flocks conquering the Sham. I seek a Mutasim Bila saving women from the cruelty of rape and the fire. I seek latter days men. All I can see is frightened cats scared for their own souls, from the sultanship of mice. Is this an overwhelming national blindness? Are we blind to colors? We are accused of terrorism if we refuse to die with Israel's bulldozers tearing our land, tearing our history, tearing our evangelium, tearing our Quran, tearing the graves of our prophets. If this was our sin, then, lo, how beautiful terrorism is. We are accused of terrorism if we refuse to be effaced by the hands of the Mughal, Jews and barbarians. If we throw a stone at the glass of the Security Council after the Sisar of Sisars got a hold of it. We are accused of terrorism if we refuse to negotiate with the wolf and shake the hand with the Hausa America against the cultures of the peoples with no culture, against the civilizations of the civilized with no civilization. America, a mighty edifice with no walls. We are accused of terrorism if we refused an era America became the foolish, the rich, the mighty, translated, sworn in Hebrew. We are accused of terrorism if we throw a rose to Jerusalem, to Al-Khalil, to Gaza, to En-Nasira. If we took bread and water to beleaguer Troy. We are accused of terrorism if we raised our voices against the regionalists of our leaders. All changed their brides, from unionists to brokers. If we committed the heinous crime of culture, if we revolted against the orders of the Grand Caliph and the seat of the Caliphate, if we read jurisprudence or politics, if we recalled God and read verse Al-Fatih, the chapter of conquest. If we listened to the Friday sermon, then we are well established in the art of terrorism. We are accused of terrorism if we defended land in the honor of dust, if we revolted against the rape of people and our rape, if we defended the last palm trees in our desert, the last stars in our sky, the last syllabi of our names, the last milk in our mothers' bosoms. If this was our sin, how beautiful is terrorism. I am with terrorism if it is able to save me from the immigrants from Russia, Romania, Hungary, and Poland. They settled in Palestine, set foot on our shoulders to steal the minarets of Al-Quds and the Tower of Aqsa, to steal the arabesques and the domes. I am with terrorism if it will free the Messiah, Jesus of Nazareth, and the Virgin, Maryam Betula, and the Holy City from the ambassadors of death and desolation. Yesteryear the nationalist street was fervent like a wild horse. The rivers were abundant with the spirit of youth. But after also, we no longer had teeth, we are now a blind and lost people. We are accused of terrorism, if we defended with full force our poetic heritage, our national wall, our rosy civilization, the culture of flutes in our mountains and the mirrors displaying blackened eyes. We are accused of terrorism, if we defended what we wrote, el azure of our sea and the aroma of ink. If we defended the freedom of the word and the holiness of books. I am with terrorism, if it is able to free a people from tyrants and tyranny. If it is able to save man from the cruelty of man, to return lemon, olive tree, and bird to the south of Lebanon, and the smile back to Golan. I am with terrorism, if it will save me from the Caesar of Yehuda and the Caesar of Rome. I am with terrorism as long as this new world order is shared between America and Israel half-half. I am with terrorism with all my poetry, with all my words, and all my teeth, as long as this new world is in the hands of a butcher. I am with terrorism, if the U.S. Senate enacts judgment decrees reward and punishment. I am with Irhab, terrorism, as long this new world order hates the smell of Arab. I am with terrorism as long as the new world order wants to slaughter my offspring and send them to dogs. For all this I raise my voice high. I am with terrorism, I am with terrorism, I am with terrorism.